You know, I cannot believe this. I absolutely cannot believe that these people were allowed to conduct medical research, genetic research on Jamaicans. And those who are in charge, those who would like to tell you how educated they are and what university they graduated, actually stand aside and allow this thing to happen. And I'm talking about your doctors and your lawyers. It goes to show that you cannot trust these people. I cannot believe that these people actually had access to black bodies. Who allowed this? Who greenlight this type of thing? What did you tell these athletes? What did you tell them? And why is it that these athletes can't think for themselves? Why can't they think for themselves? Why is it these people come in their suit and tie and they're smiling with you and you think that they mean you well? They don't. Right? Now, let us get into this evidence. And emails showing Jeffrey Epstein correspond with a scientist about genetic research on elite Jamaican athletes. Can you believe that? Right? Now, these emails, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein correspond with evolutionary biologist Robert Travers about genetic research on elite Jamaican sprinters, according to emails released by the United States Department of Justice. Now, the emails show Epstein provided financial support to Travers over several years, though it remains unclear whether he funded the sprinter research facility. So they actually have a sprinter research facility in Jamaica. Why is it that the parents and the family of these sprinters would allow their children to be a part of this? Why? Why are Jamaicans so stupid to allow people to be doing research on you because you're a sprinter? Really? Why is it that these people have such easy access to black bodies? And why is it that black people is so quick to hand over their bodies? Anyone that come in a suit and tie or in a lab coat and tell you that they're going to do this, they're going to do that, you hand over your bodies to them. A sprinter research facility. Researching who? Whose children? Now, let me get into the people that they actually got access to. In 2014, Travers wrote he would be measuring at least 73 elite sprinters in Kingston, including Shelley and Fraser Price, aiming to create the world's first elite human sample for genetic analysis. Jamaicans don't seem to understand, our people don't seem to understand that your DNA, there's a lot about your DNA that they are not telling you. Your DNA is basically the book of life. That is why they are so invested in collecting DNA, in studying people. They are not interested to find out whether the man is your father, yes or no. They need to collect your DNA, because when they get your DNA, they can tell who you are on a celestial level, who you're connected to, how many lives have you lived, what have you done during those lifetime. Your DNA is the book of life. I've been saying this for a while. There is a lot to your DNA, right? That is why they want to collect, right, and study. And they can also create weapons that can kill you through your DNA. They can create diseases that can kill you through your DNA. So handing over your DNA because someone is doing an application for you to go to overseas country is dangerous. Handing over your DNA is absolutely dangerous. I studied genetic biology, molecular cell biology. That was my topic of my degree. So I know these things. I've been doing DNA all my life before I reached the university level. Handing over your DNA is absolutely dangerous. And they are not telling you exactly what it can be used for. On a spiritual level, DNA can be used to connect you to the fallen angels. It can be used to connect you to the house of Elohim. DNA on a spiritual level is very dangerous. And these people are searching for specific DNA bloodline. So how can they have some sort of research facility that they are using in Jamaica, and these elite athletes handing over their black bodies, right? We have elite sprinters including Usain Bolt, Johan Blake, Elaine Thompson. Why? Why? There is a book on the market that every black person should get. And the name of that book is Medical Apartheid. I am sick and tired of showing this book. I'm not getting paid for it, but this is a book that every black person should get and understand. When it comes on to these people coming to you in suit and ties and lab coat, do not trust them. Handing over your black bodies for them to do genetic testing. Do you know how important your DNA is? Do you know what they can use your DNA to do? That DNA won't be destroyed. That DNA will be stored. Right? They're going to store that DNA. They're going to study that DNA. Right? If you are not a criminal, don't be quick to hand over your DNA like that. Don't. Much more handing over black bodies to be studied. And then you have the so-called educated class in Jamaica stand aside and allow this type of thing to happen. And a lot of these athletes, these elite athletes, are coming from poor background. They wouldn't know any better. They're just coming into money. They're just coming into fame. And they think that these people actually care about their well-being. These people actually think highly of them. No, they've got their own sinister plans. Right? And it doesn't include your best interests. There is a lot to DNA when it comes down to genetic studies. That is why they are collecting it. That is why they want it. Your DNA on a spiritual level tells them who you are connected to on a celestial level, on a spiritual level. Right? How many lives have you lived? What have you done? It can also show them what part you'll play in these end times. So you cannot be handing over your DNA just like that willy-nilly, or your black bodies for people to be prodding and touching. And then the people who are in charge in Jamaica, they stand aside and allow this thing to happen. Do not allow your children to be prodded and tested who are elite athletes in Jamaica. Do not encourage them to be a part of that. Do not encourage them to hand over their DNA to these vampires. When will black people learn? And these vampires are taking hold in Jamaica, and they don't seem to understand. They don't have your best interests. We need to pray and understand we wrestle not with flesh and blood, wickedness in high places. Let us pray and say, glory be to the Most High.